doing? This thing's kind of screwing up on me. It already screwed up on me once. I did a whole video, and then the thing said, "Oh, this video couldn't be processed." So I don't know what's going on. Anyhow, dirty, dirty tricks, dirty liberal whore tricks. That's what I call it. And I just went through this whole thing here. I want to talk about the whale running dry, people on welfare, people who take that, they need to be a little bit more respectful to where they get their money from instead of being so abusive towards it. Because really, seriously, I don't see how you're going to keep getting money out of something when there's eventually going to be no money left. There'll be nobody out there necessarily to pay taxes or whatever else you need to do to pay our welfare recipients and people on Social Security and stuff like that. They get taken advantage of because there's so many people abusing the system, um, you know, for whatever, food stamps or whatever. And that's the turn of events that we've taken here. Now they're going to be taken away from people who really need food stamps and people who are really handicapped or disabled or retired. So it's probably starts back from when Kennedy was assassinated. They went after people like that. And it's like, why do they care? They started the retirement at an age where people gonna be dead in a few years anyways. I mean, the government's pretty clever how they do this. They have people work all their life, or they have them sit on their ass and go vote for Obama like that, right? Or think that there's some, kind of powerful liberal agenda, something that they need to stand up for that's, out of whack. And I don't know what George Bush or any other Republican would have done to just, make people so eager to do that and just have disdain for Bush like that. Bush didn't do anything, and Republicans didn't do anything to hurt their welfare system, and that's pretty lousy of people to attack him over Iraq too. Iraq is not over oil, so anybody who thinks that Iraq was a over oil thing, can get that shit right out of your head. Right now, that is absolutely false. That is not true. It's a holy war, and it's a war, Christians versus jihad. And the jihad, they hate Israel also. So Israel is our ally, the Christians' ally, and a lot more respect than us just having the same, a lot of the same beliefs or believing in the same God. So I said it. Anyway, so when the well runs dry, I don't know where these people think that they're going to get their food stamps or their money from anymore. Maybe the government have a way to keep pumping it out to them, even though nobody has enough money putting into it from taxing people and whatnot. I said it's because liberals do not know how to create business, and I'm talking about the politicians. I'm not talking about anybody out here who has a business or ever succeeded or made anything and votes for those lousy pews. I mean the ones like Hillary Clinton, Obama, and all of them. The only way they know how to make money is to rip other people off. It's plain and simple, cut and dry. Other people that Republicans, conservative politicians, I would say would have a better chance of walking away from a political position and making it out here in the private world. From having a little bit more sense on how to run a business at least. They could probably take somebody's business from them, take over, or buy a business or something, and make it work, not just have to create one. But usually, generally, all the ideas come from the right set ideas, bad ideas. Like this, what Bill Clinton did was he went after people's 401ks. So I said something that was pretty kind of bad. I said he should have a mob after him that should be wanting to basically stomp him, a new mud hole, him into a mud hole, a bloody mud hole, because people are going to realize that the well is dry. The well is dry, and they are workers. That's how these representatives, the Clintons, went to Washington to represent the people who work and to take them for for all their money from the 401k. So, like I said, they're gonna have you retire around the time you're gonna die, anyways, hoping that you die before you get to your retirement. So, anyways, that's what they did with the 401ks, and then also what he did too. Before I move on to Obama and comparing them, is he made a law that sent Bill Clinton made a law that sent all of our factory jobs, which could be having the place pretty much pretty bouncy right now with work. If he hadn't sent all of our factory jobs overseas, and they still also to go further, they still support and protect sweatshops. The liberals do with this sending our that's a good reason why we need to overturn what Bill Clinton did with the jobs going overseas is because it's outrageous to have them do that and get away with having sweatshops at the same time, making little kids and then not calling it a sweatshop, but having people take advantage of children, women, and whoever else, to make a buck, and they're making a killing because of him. Anyways, the business people, it's always going to come out on the end. The people who pay for the stuff are going to end up paying the bill. They're going to pay. We're going to pay the tax, and we're going to pay the extra overhead costs that it's going to cost these businesses to maintain and run. All of them. Yes, it is. Your WalMarts and wherever else, it's going to come out in our our budgets, what we have to afford, not what the store has to afford. When liberals tell you that, oh no, we're going after this evil business, this evil business, they're a liar. So we need to bring all of our jobs back here to America from overseas. And Bill Clinton's a dirty, dirty, dirty trickster. That's what he is. Dirty politician. So, see the well running dry completely, and other people know up to this point their own money that they worked for. What they worked for, right? They didn't get the money any other way but having to work hard for it, right? Or whatever job they had, they earned it through a job, and it's gone because politicians have it used up or in their pocket. So anyhow, so now we're moving on to Obama, and this is so you have to really think of what clever thing will Hillary Clinton go after next, and try and make it sound like Obama had the perfect one. No wonder she wanted to be president then, because it was healthcare. Oh, we can go out there and say, oh, this is for your health care. So then we make people think, oh, this is for my health care. This is for health. This means something. And it not be sinister. But it's actually radically sinister. I was telling people that to go and look, if you think I was kidding about liberals not being able to think of anything other than evil thoughts or bad ways to go after people, and they can't think of project a project to come up to make money honestly in a business or something. Go look up. Never let a crisis go to waste. If you think that I'm kidding, and that's how they, I'm talking about liberal politicians. That's how they end up um, capitalizing on so many different situations, and in the media, they know that it's gets people hyped up or whatnot. But it's never allow a crisis to go to waste. That's their motto. That's why he was so in depth with the Gulf when the Gulf spill happened, but he tied everybody's hands up so that they couldn't go in there and fix nothing. Oh, EPA, what's better? The EPA let this thing just totally screw the whole Gulf up, before we even try to fix the thing. But I realized that they had gadgets and submarine stuff, equipment, down there looking at it, trying to figure out how to fix it at least. But Obama and the liberals do, they say, never let a crisis go to waste. So they capitalize on that, on people's situation. Anytime there's a storm or something bad happens, they're right there in the middle of it. And also, the gun thing with the shootings that happened, you can go look that up on Wikipedia. That's one thing Wikipedia couldn't even help them out with their stupid liberal baloney, trying to act like they're not a bunch of liars and not screwed our country and our economy up by now. So, um, is that gun incident? It's only 2% of all of the fatal things like that. Smaller than that. So, I was talking about um, the inflation keeps getting higher and higher. Um, I've been for a long time with everybody else from the right talking sort of bad about minimum wage. Not necessarily the people getting it, but they might have you thinking oddly, towards them, but they were workers. So all I'm saying is, um, people who work, if they need a minimum wage increase, it's not their fault. So I support them. I'm not trying to do a deal with liberals or anything like that. I realize that the economy is screwed up to the point where the inflation daily goes up. So every day you'll see uh, more dramatized in the economy as far as inflation goes. So I'm on board with paying. Excuse me. I'm on board with paying people at minimum wage more money. So talking about the whale running dry. Over in Europe, I made a video in here. I showed it. I looked it up. They had um, robots manning the windows when people would drive up, and other robots doing the cashier stuff in Europe because minimum wage is so high. It's because they don't have a hold on inflation. So I know that I've been pushing legalization of marijuana, and also at the same time, the Republicans are the ones, because the liberals won't do a budget. The guy Obama's been in there for this long, and he hasn't done a budget yet. um, so if Republicans go and legalize marijuana all the way across, they're going to be the ones that'll figure out how to tax it and how to budget it, and everybody will be comfortable with it. Everybody will be satisfied and happy until some point in time down the road, a liberal will come in and say, "This ain't right," and then they'll start in on it, and then they'll figure out how to start toying with, uh, you know, marijuana. And that's a good reason why I believe the federal government and all these other liberals don't know how to tax it, is because they don't know how to do a budget. It's the truth. So you want to talk smack about Bush going into Iraq still? Well, Bush might have raised the debt a couple of trillion there, 2 to 4 trillion or whatever, but it was leveled there the whole entire time he was in there because he did a sound budget and he was paying for the war, our wars. Not pulling us out, sending us back in, and then pulling us out, sending us back in, and pulling us out, and sending us back in. And then seeing how much is that gonna cost? How much does it cost to keep sending our troops over to Iraq? Get the job done. We need a president right now that's not just gonna legalize weed and tax it. but they need to send us back to war, to Iraq, and finish the job, despite whatever liberals and Obama think. So it's dirty tricks. They're, it's liberal dirty whore tricks. That's what I'm calling it now. Liberal dirty whore tricks. You send a guy here, you can't even say anything about him, even though he's the president and he took that job. So it's the most criticized job in the world, but yet because he's dark skinned, like whatever you want to say, um, you can't say a word about this guy who you're supposed to actually talk about. So I think they're really dirty and they're liars and it's a bunch of junk. Dirty liberal whore tricks. So you had Bush in there, and he sided with these bastards, Pelosi and all of them, and had to deal with all of them the whole entire time he was in there. And he didn't have Congress and the Senate for the whole entire time either. He had them for about, he had complete power from, this is George Bush back in 2001 or whenever he was elected, back in the day, back in the day already. But anyways, he had a whole Congress, conservative Congress, and a whole conservative Senate for maybe a year, and that's it. Obama had it for 2 years until they were voted out. Bush had it until a Republican wanted to play shenanigans with the Republican Party, and he became an independent or some crap like that just to throw the thing off. And I don't even know why people do that. Maybe it was because he wasn't president or something, or they didn't nominate him. I don't know. But I know that it proves right now this ISIS and other deals that Dick Cheney and all them were very much on the ball, were very right about what was going on. And then things all along for the Republican Party, and I'll keep supporting them and keep bashing liberals. And that's what I'm here for. But we're all a little bit liberal, so don't let me get you wrong about that. I'm gonna go now, but liberals took that from people in general who do the right thing for other people. If you ever give money, like $1, or you sell to a bum, or you help somebody else out, um, you're sort of being a liberal, but you're not a bad liberal. I talked about that on one of my videos too on here. We're all liberal, something titled like that. Don't let them confuse you. It's always going to be generally, people are the same, but there's two ways to categorize categories of people. There's good and there's bad. So no matter how people act or whatever, always pay attention to what they're fighting for and what their deal is, because that's raw, exactly what it is. It's not black or white or whatever color you are or whatever race you are either. It's if you're good or bad. Just keep that in mind. Alright, thanks.